When you solve a literal equation, you need to solve the equation for a specific variable that's given. In literal equations, there are going to be a couple of variables, even some numbers, but you're not going to get an answer that's like solve and then x equals 4 or 7 equals b, something like that. It's going to leave, there's going to be some variables still left in the problem. So let's look at an example. I want you to solve p equal to 2a plus b for a. Alright, so this is the way I think about it. I think, okay, I need a by itself, and I need to get everything else out of the way. So since I need to work on the outside in, if you will, then the first thing I need to do is subtract b from both sides. So now when you rewrite this left side, can you subtract b from p? No, you can't. They're not like terms. So this is how you have to leave it. P minus b equal to 2a. Again, we need a by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the 2 in front of it. Since it's being multiplied, I'm going to divide. Now on this left-hand side, your division bar has to be under p and b because that whole side is being divided by 2. So your final answer is a equal to p minus b over 2. Alright, let's solve p equal to 2 times the quantity L plus W. And we're going to solve for W. Now we did a problem like this in class, and a lot of us want to distribute that too. But I think it's so much easier to divide first. Because if 2 is being multiplied by L times W, and I want W by itself, why would I multiply 2 times W and get 2W? Because then what I'm going to have to do is go back and divide 2W by 2 and get rid of it. So I'd rather just divide this whole side by 2. And if I do that on the right, I have to do that on the left. And then on that right side, those 2's cancel out. So now you have P divided by 2 equal to L plus W. Since I need W by itself, I'm going to subtract both sides by L. Now be careful how you write this. Final answer. You have P divided by 2, and then you subtracted L. So this is what it needs to look like. And that is equal to W. Alright, number 3. F divided by A equal M. And we're going to solve for F. Alright, so the only thing that's in the way of getting F by itself is the A on the denominator. So you need to ask yourself, what is A doing to F? Well, it's dividing F. So to undo division, we need to multiply both sides by A. Well, this was a quick one because our final answer is just F equal to M times A. Now let's look at one like this, but a little bit tougher. B divided by C is equal to D. And we're going to solve for C. So now instead of solving for the numerator like we just did, we're going to solve for the denominator. So again, I want C by itself, but there's nothing I can do with it on the denominator. So anytime your variable that you need to solve for is on the denominator, you need to bring it up to the numerator. So I'm going to do this extra step and multiply both sides times C. So now on the left-hand side, the c's cancel, but c didn't go away because now it's over here times d. So since d and c are being multiplied by one another, now we're going to divide both sides, but by d, because I need c by itself. So my final answer is c equal to b over d. Alright, now we have a equal to 1/2 times b times h, and we're going to solve for h. So since we need h by itself, what I see is in the way is the b and the 1/2. So you can get rid of both of them at the same time if you can see it. If not, just do one at a time. It makes no difference as long as you do it correctly. I'm going to get rid of the 1/2 first. Since the 1/2 is being multiplied, I need to undo it. So technically, I could write this. A equals to BH divided by 2. That's the same thing because technically you have a 1 right here being multiplied by B times H, except it's just written differently than in the writing that I have in purple. So that means that if I'm multiplying something by 1/2, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of that, which would be 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Alright, so now I have 2a is equal to bh, because over here this 2 canceled out this 1/2. Alright, now I need h by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by b. The b's on the right cancel out, and I have h equal to 2a divided by b. Alright, now we're going to get a little bit tougher. Y equal to 1/2 x times v minus 5. And we're going to solve this one for x. So again, just like before, we have another 1/2. So we now know that we're going to take this 1/2 and we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So I have 2y equal to x times v minus 5. So this 2 canceled out this 1/2. Now I need x by itself, just x. So I'm not going to distribute x because then I'd have 2 x's and I need x by itself. So don't separate it any more than it already is. So since v5, the whole quantity in parentheses, is being multiplied by x, I'm going to divide this whole side by v minus 5. And I'm going to do the same thing, because I have to, on the left. So that means the v minus 5 cancels out, and we have our final answer. X is equal to 2y divided by v minus 5. You don't need the parentheses, but if you like them, you can leave them in there. Alright, now we have a equal to 1/2 h times b1, b sub 1 is what we say, minus b sub 2. And we're going to solve for b sub 1. So what we need to do is we need to get b sub 1 by itself. Now over here we have another 1/2 and a variable, and I'm going to try this time to take care of them both together. So we know that if we have a 1/2 in front, we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. And I'm also, well, no, let's just deal with the 2 right now. So now we have 2a is equal to h times b sub 1 minus b sub 2. Because this 1/2 cancels out with that 2. Now we need to get rid of the h. And since it's being multiplied, we're going to divide by h. So I have 2a divided by h equal to b sub 1 minus b sub 2. And my last step, since I need b sub 1 by itself, I'm going to add b sub 2 to both sides. Alright, now be careful how you write this final answer again. We have the whole quantity 2a over h, and then we added b sub 2, so we need to write it separately like that. And this equals b sub 1. Alright, last problem. X equals v times t plus a times t squared. And I want to solve for a. So I'm going to subtract vt from both sides. And I could take them together because I need a by itself. So then I have x minus v times t is equal to a times t squared. And since I want a by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by t squared. So my final answer is going to be a is equal to x minus vt all over t squared.